All right, so in this video, I'm going to be showing off this Sea to Summit. This is a clothesline. This thing is super compact. You can just kind of see how small it is in my hand. Something like a size-wise to compare it to, you can see this is a travel size deodorant. You can see it's actually still smaller than that. Honestly, this probably takes up about as much room as a travel size toothpaste tube does. So when I say this thing is small, I definitely mean it takes up like almost no room. Now in this is just going to be something that you're going to be using for hanging up clothes. You're not going to be using, this isn't like extra string that you could use like paracord for things like that. Is it sturdy enough that you could technically use it for something like that? Maybe, but I wouldn't really recommend it. So this is definitely something you could take backpacking with you if you are going to, if your clothes happen to actually get wet. For me personally, I'm going to be taking this on a European backpacking trip to where I'm going to be staying in hostels, different things like that. And I think that's really where something like this comes to shine even more, because usually people who are staying in hostels are trying to save money. So you're going to be washing your clothes in the sink. And so when you check this out, so you take it out of the bag here, and right away on one side, the bag itself is where you're going to loop on one side. That's why you have this little hook part right here. You're going to wrap this around whatever you are initially hanging this on and hook it through there. Now on the other side is where it's a little bit different. You have this part right here. So this actually will pull out, and you can adjust the size. You can loop this around. You have another little hook right here to where you can hook in right here. So now you have this whole loop, right? But you can actually make this smaller or larger. If you if you loosen this up, now you can actually make the loop smaller or longer, right? And so obviously you can do all that, but the way you actually hang up the clothes, and that's really what makes this super lightweight, is how you hang up the clothes is on one end. It actually has these rubber beads here, and you can see that it's split into two ends, and the beads will just pressure whatever you're putting in there. So when it comes to these beads, there's a few different ways, obviously, that you could hang this up. You could, like for instance, I have this sock. You could drape it over like that and then squeeze the sock in there with these rubber beads, right? Or probably the way I'm going to do it is, because now we have two, you put your sock or whatever in between, right? And now it is in there nice and sturdy. You can see the sock's not even, coming out at all. If you want to make it even sturdier, you can just move the beads closer to each other. Very, very easy. Now, if you think that this doesn't come with enough beads, these are just like rubberized, like plastic kind of beads on here that you could go to almost any other store, just untie these ends and add in as many beads as you want, and not just the ones that it comes with. But when you're putting this back away, I found the easiest way to put this back up is to just kind of fold it all and keep folding it until it gets compact enough. So you guys can see how I'm putting it away, and then it will stuff right back in there. The reason why I like this over a few other options is the size and the weight. It basically weighs nothing. It's going to take up almost no room in your pack. In fact, I'm putting this in a pocket that almost nothing else really fits in my pack. A lot of the places could potentially have a clothesline, but they might not. And so having something this small taking up this much room in my pack is kind of ideal, because a lot of the other options are heavier, they're bigger, they take up a lot more room, and they are not as compact. So, you know, if I don't end up needing this, it's not something I might end up regret carrying. Whereas some of the other options, like bringing a bunch of extra paracord and some some clothespins and all of that stuff that actually weigh a lot more than this system does here, I would actually kind of regret bringing that, maybe throwing it away. This, I can leave this in my bag and probably forget it. And then I can also, when I come back, put it in my car and just always have, you know, a very nice, well-packaged clothesline for any travel needs that I might have.